Stock up, stock down. Here to provide a stonk report is our very own Cynthia Freeland. Let's start with the good news, Cynthia. Whose stock is on the way up?
Stock on the way up is Travis Etienne. Not because he had such a great output, more because of his usage. But let's first talk about the output because it was incredible. Just a 71-yard rushing touchdown, the longest of his career. He averaged 8.9 yards per rush, which is ridiculous. And also, we love MJD. He's the first Jacksonville player with at least 15 rushing attempts with that kind of production since MJD in 2006. That makes me feel a little old because I remember that. Anyways, long story short, you want to look at the usage here. We didn't know how it was going to net out, but it looks like all of those, 41% of his team scrimmage yards, second highest amount, like these are the types of things you want to look for as signs of what's to come. You can go look on it on NFL Plus. Of course, we'll get to that later, but it's a good one. And then do you need to stock down too? Because sometimes things go up. And
yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have to go down as well, Cynthia.
Okay, not just because of the single sample size, but be careful about A.J. Brown. Why? Because if you look at the trend over time, it's also something that happened before. You drafted this guy as a number one, maybe even in the first round, depending on maybe if you're Eagles fan, you maybe overdrafted him a bit. But you're going to have to come up with contingency plans. Remember that weird book situation from last year? He was reading on the sideline. I don't think that's changed necessarily now, right? So I think there'll be games where he's the focal point and gets a lot of targets. There'll be other games where it looks a little bit more like this. Now, to be fair, I don't think it'll be just one target per game, but I think sometimes it will dictate that he will have a lot of coverage and sometimes it will dictate that he doesn't. So just be mindful. It doesn't have to say, I'm not saying to sell him. I'm just saying you have to plan appropriately for your 401k, all of your long-term assets. This is a long season. It's a big deal.
Sell A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, Cynthia says A.J. Brown is bad.
Yeah.
This is how I'm going to react.
She's down. By the way, I love that she's like, I feel so old because I remember MJD playing for the Jags. Yeah, I covered a guy named Maurice Drew when he was playing at UCLA. I was working for the Orange County Register, covering him and his quarterback, Drew Olson. They were good.
Back in my day, as we discuss
Bob
our relationship
Toledo and I chopping it up
to the Stone Ages of football, we got some new technology that's available for you to take your game to the next level. Over on NFL Plus, you can get access to, in fact, every NFL Plus premium subscriber gets access to NFL Pro, including its new set of fantasy-focused stats that we've been digging into and have a few notable nuggets to pass on to you, our dear viewers. Rank, why don't you lead us off?
Yeah, I've been hitting refresh on this like all weekend. I love it. One of the things that came out on Thursday night was the running back usage for the Dallas Cowboys. This is a really interesting one because his Javonte Williams was going out there and killing it on Thursday night. I lamented the fact like I have almost zero shares of Javonte Williams. And people are like, why? I'm like, well, number one, I loved CeeDee Lamb coming into the season and Dak Prescott, which meant I pivoted off the running back situation when it might end up being a mistake, at least based on one game. Javonte Williams played 83% of the Cowboys snaps against. That is a significant amount of time. And you think about it, Jadon Blue was another guy that people were high on. I still have hopes for Jadon Blue this season. However, he was inactive. Instead, they were very comfortable going with Tony Dorsett. Oh, I'm sorry, Javonte Williams. How do you give up 33? This is a thing that was bugging me. I'm sorry, I know this is my second veer, but this is what happens on live TV. I'm allowed to do this. It bothers me they give up the number 33. What's next, 22? Like, oh, here's number 22 to whatever player they want to give it to.
As long as they ask first, Cynthia, we always looking for more information on rookies, and you found out some on a couple of young tailbacks.
Well, one of my favorite kind of stats to monitor is always yards after contact. And now with the tool, you can actually look at yards after contact over expected. So what was expected is basically like the what you can think in that situation, what is level and who is better, who exceeds those. These are good indicators of people who are going to pop off and keep popping off going forward. Both RJ Harvey and Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt had positive numbers. Let's just say like +5 is over the course of the season could be considered something not too terrible. So these 48 in individual games, the numbers could be larger or smaller. But when you're looking at how this relates to fantasy points going forward, it's all about like, if you map that to like deep runs, so like 10+ yard runs, chunk yards, things that give you one full point every single time they touch the ball on the ground. these are the types of stats that will really help you. So look for these guys who are really good at rushing yards over expected. And then those are the guys that you want to put in your lineup and that you can get ahead of. Because if they maybe their exact numbers aren't huge, it's like 60, 70 yards total, right? But then you see that, wow, a lot of those are over expected. Their coach knows that. They will get more volume, more touches, and eventually end up in pay dirt.
Yeah, and it gives you the chance to get information on new players. What I was looking at is something on a player we've seen in a lot of different places in a lot of different circumstances, and that's Justin Fields, who is currently leading the entire NFL in time to throw. And I know folks think about Aaron Rodgers and this Jets offense getting rid of the ball quick, had one of the fastest times to throw in the entire NFL. Yes, that 3.53 seconds for Justin Fields in week 1 includes a lot of him running around, but it also shows the patience that he was able to operate within this offense. Perhaps it provides a little information about the Steelers' decisions on how they will rush the passer. And what NFL Pro provides you is the context to break down how these individual stats will play out so you can make better decisions for your fantasy season, which is something that we all love because we all love scoring points and you guys getting wins in fantasy, except if you're Adam Rank, if you're in Rank's league, please do everything you can. Beat Adam Rank. We got more to come here on NFL Fantasy Live, including a look at a team that did not have a great performance on Sunday. Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins put up a dud in week 1. Is it time to panic on the Fins? We discuss coming up next on NFL Fantasy Live.